and whatever one in your own time, in your own place, in your own time, so you can listen to the recording and can make your own notes.
Did you send me the last recording or no?
Sorry?
Did you send me the recording of the last lesson?
Haven't I sent it? Okay, I'll send it then.
I didn't receive an email.
In email, haven't I sent you the PowerPoint and the handout?
I didn't get the email.
Okay, I will do it tonight then.
Okay. Thank you.
The previous ones and today ones I will do tonight of my own lecture and the recordings as well.
Yeah.
So were you out today? It was a very, very nice weather today.
No, I was doing some of my work.
Oh, same with me. I was having we are having where I work. We are having an inspection on Monday. So I was also today. We were just some bits were left, and I was also doing those bits. I couldn't go anywhere because I was so much busy with my own work.
Yeah.
I couldn't. All right. Okay. So this is live anyhow. So we are working at the multidisciplinary team. As I said, I will send over to you my handout and this recording as well. And I am pretty sure that it will help you in writing your assignment. You will start writing your assignments. So it will help you in writing your assignments as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, there are a few other things that I need to send to you. I will send to you over tonight, inshallah. So we will cover the learning outcome 3 today. This learning outcome 3 talks about the barriers, different kinds of barriers, different kind of constraints or limitations in the working of multidisciplinary teams, MDTs. For last few sessions, we have been talking about MDTs, how they work, what are their advantages, what are their uses, how have they increased the efficiency of health and social care system, how the patient waiting time, their treatment plans, how have they improved. We have been looking at these kind of things and we learned a lot, but there are some limitations. We have talked about some of the drawbacks, some of the disadvantages of MDTs, some of the drawbacks, like we have talked about the conflicts, we have talked about the high loss time, we discussed about high cost that involves in the creation of multidisciplinary teams, their funding, the time that is being used in creation of these multidisciplinary teams. Then above all, the main thing is in these kind of teams, when different professionals, different experts from different disciplines, they are there, then there are conflicts. When too many heads are there, then there are conflicts. Sometimes it becomes difficult for the team to reach to agreed decision about anything. So these are the major things, and we will look at some other constraints as well. So I will keep on asking you, like, have you gone through something? Have you done something about MDTs, or have you been part of any team? So do you have any experience of being part of any multidisciplinary team, or have you seen any team working in your workplace or somewhere else?
Yeah, I've seen some in healthcare settings and then in social care settings as well.
Great. So would you like to share some observations, what you observed or what you saw, or any kind of problems that you observed?
Well, the last one I sat in was for a deaf-blind person.
Oh, right, okay.
And because they're deaf and blind, there's something called DOLS.
Deaf and blind.
I think they're advocates. No?
So I'm saying deaf and blind as well.
Yeah, deaf and blind. So
okay.
They have the social workers and advocates as well. So in the team meeting, they were like, the social workers asked things to be changed the last time they came, in the last couple of months, and they just came back to review to see if that the changes were implemented. But because they're blind and deaf, they need textured things to touch, like that's part of their social life, because they can't speak, they can't see or hear, they can just touch things. So they're trying to make use of that and make plans for it. But because there were so many professionals as well, they didn't all agree on the same thing. Because there's learning disability nurse, social worker, advocate, the manager of the home, support workers, and then the team leaders. And the managers of the home didn't agree with what the social workers and the advocate were saying. So then
great.
that's where the stuff that was supposed to be implemented, the actual home haven't done it yet because they don't agree with it, even though the social worker has the say because it's to do with lifestyle.
So great. So you have quite good experience of MDT. It's a very good experience. In your assignment, when you start writing your assignment, you can definitely quote this example. This is your own personal experience. You can quote it. It's a very good example. You have seen working of so many different professionals. You have seen the problem as well. Though their core objective, their main purpose is for the benefit of that individual, to provide that individual with all the facilities for socialization, for personal needs, for social needs, but there want some hindrances, like as you were saying, sometimes it was difficult to reach to a common decision, agreed decision. The manager, what was the last week's action plan that could not be implemented, or it was partially implemented, not fully implemented. When the manager visits, they like to see all the points of the action plan. Have they been implemented? All the targets have been met or not? So sometimes it happens like what one proposes, the other one doesn't agree to that. They have their own point of view, like this thing is not in the full benefit of the individual. We can do this way, we can do that way. So these are the major issues in the MDTs, to reach to a common. No one is against, no one is the enemy of that individual, no one is the enemy of the service user. Whatever everyone is doing, that is for the benefit of the service user, for the betterment of that individual. But there are always contradictions, there are always conflicts, and there are always suffers, or we can say collision of opinions. It is quite normal, it's quite natural. So that's why it is important that in these MDTs, everyone is aware of their role. Everyone is aware of all the hierarchies. If I am number 3 in a team, I should know that who is number 2 and who is number 1, because I will be answerable to number 2. My number 2 is answerable to my number 1. So this is hierarchy. So that's why it is important that in MDTs, everyone, all the roles, as in last session we defined, we said so many things about the efficient working of MDTs, how MDTs they can work to their full. We have looked at different points, like we said, there should be a very clear goal setting. What is the mission? What is the goal? It should be clearly set, defined by the team leader, defined by the manager, and everyone in the team must be conveyed that role. Everyone should know. If we two are the part of team, you should know what is the goal, what is our destination. I should know what is our destination and what is our vision. Goals should be clear. Then everybody in the team should clearly know their responsibilities, their role, what is their role, and what responsibilities that role implies onto you. Who are they responsible to? Who are they going to report to in kind of any occurring, in kind of any happening? These are very vital points, very important things in making of MDT and their working. And these things, if they are not done properly, they are not looked at, they are ignored, they are overlooked, or things are taken for granted, then the purpose is not fulfilled, the aim is not gained, and the service user suffers, and the taxpayers' money is wasted. That is the main thing. So some of the barriers. Last time we also looked at some of the barriers, and last time we also looked at some of the ways. And today we will continue with that one, like what are different barriers and how these barriers they can impact and what is their impact. So as we have seen, it's that in the modern healthcare, today's healthcare and social care system is being delivered by multidisciplinary teams, and these teams they rely on effective teamwork and communication to ensure effective and safe patient care. So, however, we know that there is an unacceptable rate of unintended patient harm. We are saying unintended patient harm. All these recent reports, if you look at the NHS reports, the NHS audit reports of different care homes, so we can see that there have been reports of some kind of unintended patient harm. So that is not acceptable. It is quite unacceptable. And much of that patient harm or any threats to the patient's safety, or sometimes abuses have also been reported. All these things are attributed to the failure of communication. Main reason behind all these failures, behind all these harms, is basically lack of communication, is failure of communication between health professionals. So the main thing is the communication barrier, the goals, the roles, responsibilities, the tasks, they are not communicated properly to all the team members, or if they are, the way they are communicated, that is inappropriate. The way the goals are not the destinations, the goals, the tasks, weekly tasks or daily routine tasks, they are not communicated properly, or they are communicated improperly, or the way they are properly, that doesn't mean what it meant to be. Then there are some psychological barriers. Like, for example, what kind of psychological barriers there could be in multidisciplinary teams? Psychological barriers such as professional silos and hierarchies, and organizational barriers such as geographical distributed teams can increase the chance of communication failures with the potential for patient harm. Sometimes in MDTs, the junior people, the people low in hierarchy, they are just sometimes afraid of the power use, and they do not convey the real picture, the real concerns to the bosses, to the people who are upper in hierarchy, who hold high positions. The junior people, the people lower in hierarchy, lower in position, due to their own sometimes self-concocted, self-perceived fears, self-perceived concerns, they do not convey the real dangers, real concerns or problems fully, or they try to hide the real problems and concerns in some way or other. So these kind of psychological barriers, they affect the efficient working of multidisciplinary teams. As I was talking about the recent reports of the NHS, different audit reports of NHS, so all these evidences, they suggest that improvement in teamwork in healthcare can lead to significant gains in patient safety, yes, definitely, measured against efficiency of care, complicated rate, and mortality. So some other kind of barriers that we can just list them, they are incorrect facts. Things are not correct, things are not communicated properly, or the facts, they are not conveyed properly, or sometimes the facts, they are wrapped in personal opinions. They change the meaning. Lack of trust. People do not trust each other, and one thinks that they are doing the most of the task, and the other, they are not doing, they are doing less than me. So this kind of thinking, like I am doing more, that person is doing less, I am doing much of the work. So this kind of lack of trust destroys the efficiency of a team. Then comes unclear position descriptions. So as I have said earlier, if you are not aware of your role, your job, your role, then you cannot show your best. or if each week, after a couple of weeks, after a couple of days, your job role, your job descriptions are going to change, that you will find nowhere. Every day, every week, your job role is being changing. Few things are being added, few things are being deleted, different things you are receiving different kind of instructions, directions, couple of weeks. So you will find yourself nowhere. You will find difficult. What should I do? Where am I? I am everywhere. I am here. I am there. I am there. Where am I actually? These kind of unclear job descriptions, unclear position descriptions, they create chaos. Then misunderstandings of roles and responsibilities, the same way. Conflicted roles or objectives, as you were putting one of your experience of working with mute and deaf and mute and blind person. The objectives set by the social care, sometimes they were questioned by the mentor or the vice versa. So they were, each one was of the view that the objective that are set for the week, they are not appropriate, or the way they are set, that is not appropriate. An inadequate action plans, the action plans that are set to meet the targets, they are inappropriate. The way things are managed, they are not done properly. Receiving directions from 2 or more bosses. This is a very, very confusing and very conflicting and very confusing in MDTs. If you are receiving instructions for more than one boss, it always creates a big hassle, a big chaos in MDTs or in workplaces. Sometimes we experience these kind of things when we are working in our offices, in our workplaces, because wherever you are working as a team. You have your colleagues with you, you have your subordinates under you, you have your seniors where you report to. In one department, there are always more than one person who are working as a team. And if you are receiving the directions from more than one person, it is always confusing. What one says, what one head says, sometimes or most of the times, that is contradicted by someone else. So the follower, being the lower in hierarchy, you have to follow the instructions. But this is always confusing, and it is big reason of failure of these MDTs, where people are receiving instructions from more than one boss, or from 2 or more bosses. And one other barrier or hindrance is acceptance of change. Accept to change. There are people. Everybody is different. There are people who like change, who feel it quite convenient. It's convenient for them to adjust to new routines, to new targets. They have a quite challenging kind of adventurous nature. There are people who like to be on routine. They do not like to change not routine, I should say, that they do not like to accept challenges. They not very adventurous. They just want to do what they want to do, the way they are doing the thing. They just become a kind of status quo. We use the word status quo, like the same conditions, same terms and conditions, same routine things. If you give them different instructions, or if you ask them to do the things in different way, like the introduction of new kind of machines, new kind of technology, new kind of patient care systems, they find it difficult. Like maybe you must have seen the use of technology, more and more use of technology in health and social care system. Now, the people, when you visit surgery or any healthcare system, they are having what's that is called? That if you say and that types automatically, what it's called? Speech to text. Yeah. Speech to text typer. You are speaking, and automatically that device is capturing your voice and words, and that device types what you are saying automatically. So these kind of things, people find it difficult to use. And now I have seen in care homes, people are having portable typers. You will find them with, they are just having devices in their hands. They are talking with you. They are talking with the service users, and whatever you were saying is automatically being typed. One person can find the use of that device convenient. Other can find it difficult. So the introduction of these new kind of technology, introduction of use of these new machines, especially these IT things, these kind of innovations, everyone is not easy with them. Everyone doesn't find them easy to use. Or sometimes if the way of meeting the task is changed, so people resist change. For there are different reasons to resist a change. People do not want to come out of their comfort zone. They are afraid of some fear of some uncertainty, some maybe what we are doing, how we will do it, how is it going to impact me. Maybe my job will be at risk if I can't meet the target, if I can't do the things appropriately. Maybe my job is at risk. Maybe I am fired. These kind of concerns and fears, they create a kind of resistance to the change. So this is one other barrier. That lack of leadership. Here means that means lack of leadership doesn't mean that there is no leader. That means there are so many leaders. Everyone is a leader. Maybe you have experienced. I have experienced these kind of things. Like in workplaces, I have experienced 3 bosses. Like they were not bosses, but everyone was leader. So these kind of things in MDTs, in multidisciplinary teams, because there are different heads, people from different disciplines, they are there. Everyone is leader. So people, lack of leadership means many leaders. There are more than one leader. Everyone is giving their own instructions. Everyone is thinking that they are there to lead the team. They are there to lead. They are not there to follow. They are there to lead. So this kind of situation always is very detrimental, is always very injurious to the efficiency of a multidisciplinary team. And ultimately, the service user is at risk. The service user is not receiving their full attention. The service user is not receiving what they are there, what it meant to be. As the different barriers we have listed, there are so many other different kind of barriers. For example, we can say, I will send you all this. I will be sending you this full list of the barriers. You can find them different barriers they can lower the efficiency of the disciplinary chain. For example, there are different kinds of organizational barriers, different kinds of barriers at team level, different individual barriers. For example, in organizational barriers, we can say that lack of knowledge and appreciation of the roles of other health professionals. So this kind of, I can say, a professional jealousy, a bias is common. People do not appreciate other people's work. They do not acknowledge other people's contributions. So these kind of things are quite common. Then lack of trust. We have said it. Different conflicts we have talked about. We have been talking about different conflicts. Then, so now the question arises, what are the ways to overcome these barriers? As this 3.3 says, how to overcome these barriers. We have been saying since beginning different barriers, conflicts, time wastage, so these kind of things. But the question is, okay, the obstacle is there, the barriers are there, how to overcome them? There are ways to overcome these barriers. Few ways we can say, like agree on unified philosophy and unified goals, and develop a commitment to the common goal, whatever the goal is set. First of all, everybody should agree on the goal. what the goal is being set. Then there should be development of a commitment to the goal, and learn about other professions, because there are different professions involved. Learn about other professions, respect other people's skills and acknowledge their contributions, establish positive attitudes about your own profession and about other people's opinion, develop trust between your team members, be willing to share responsibility for patient or client care, establish a mechanism of negotiation and renegotiation of goals and roles over time. This is a kind of self-evaluation. Be willing to work continually on overcoming barriers. So teamwork in healthcare settings in particular, it involves considerable overlap in competencies. Each provider should be knowledgeable of the skills of other people, and it is a common thing in multidisciplinary teams that the main professionals, they are sometimes, and most of the time, they are ignorant of other people's or other health professionals due to lack of collaboration during their respective education. So in the course of training, providers must have a tendency to become socialized. So because in MDTs, different professionals are there from different educational backgrounds, different professions. It is important to know about their own profession. And hello?
Hello?
Yeah. So we are talking about different kind of barriers and ways to overcome. So we have said what are the ways. We have said quite a few things, like how can we overcome these barriers. One is develop trust, know your job roles, respect other people's opinions, respect the conflict of opinions, try to know about other people's professions, their skills. If someone is contributing, we should acknowledge their contribution instead of being biased. We should acknowledge, and these goals should be agreed by every member of the staff, and these goals should be clearly communicated to each and every person in the team. And being a team member, one should be willing to work continuously on overcoming these barriers. So these are the ways you can overcome these barriers, different kind of barriers that arise when different people, different professionals are there. So these barriers are common in MDTs, and these are the ways to overcome these barriers. So yeah, these were all the things. So this was all for today. If there is anything you want to ask, you want to share, so I have noted down the assignment date that you have said, and hopefully I will be receiving your assignment by that time, because yeah, I'm not testing you, but I'm saying because as if it's better for you, it's better for you. Or anyhow, you have to send it. Anyhow, you have to do it. So so it's better if you can do it. If you do earlier done, is better.
Okay.
And the earlier done, if you do earlier, you can have the feedback. It's better. It's convenient for you. Instead of piling up the thing, it's clear to clear up the pile.
Yeah. Do you know this assignment? This one's in a report. Are all of them in a report or?
These are reports. Yeah, these are reports. These are reports. I will like.
Pardon?
These are reports, and I would like to have reports. It's easy to write, and it's easy to write. Reports are easier to write.
Yeah.
Instead of those kind of, there are different kinds of leaflets or PowerPoint. So I won't go for these ones. That's the reports are fun. And I will be sending you what today I noted down. I am sending you the previous things.
It's stuff for the multidisciplinary team unit. The 1.1.
5 point. Sorry.
Is it what's it? Sorry, the task 1, task 2, and task 3. I didn't get the stuff for task 1 or 2. It's probably my junk box. Okay. Hello.
Hello. Actually, I couldn't understand what you said. I couldn't understand it.
The stuff from task 1 and task 2. I haven't got that.
You were talking about the self-fulfillment.
You know the stuff from task 1 and task 2. Is it on the learner management system? Hello?
Hello. Just give me a second. Let me have a look at it. It's taking time to open. Okay, so you were talking about task 1. It covers you're learning at 1.2 and 2.2, is it?
Hello?
This is what you were talking about, the task 1?
Yeah, a multidisciplinary team unit, task 1 and task 2. I didn't get
task 1?
No, there's task 1. The one to do with building. You know, from the last lesson?
Yeah.
From the last lesson we had, you said you were going to send. I haven't checked my junk mail. It's probably in my junk, but I didn't receive it in my
Don't worry. I will resend. If I have sent you, I will resend all these things to you.
Okay, that's fine.
These are all. I'm just getting dry. Okay. Anyhow, I will be sending you all this stuff.
Okay.
You will find the answers. You will find the answers in the handouts. That's and anything else, right?
No.
Are you all right? Fine.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
Thank you very much, Kristen.
Thank you very much. Fine. Thanks for being with me. So, because I need to update on the join me. Today is Saturday. Yes. So, you are fine with Saturdays?
Yeah, I'm fine with Saturdays.
What time is convenient for you?
What time? I think evening is better.
Evening is better?
Yeah.
This time, or as we have been having lessons at, I think, 11 to 12 or 12 to 1, I think. This was the time. That time is better, this time is better.
This time is better.
This time is better. That's fine. So 7 till 8 or half 7 till 8, half 8, is it?
Yeah, 7:30, 8:30. What about you? Is this time okay for you? Or do you want to do it? Is this what time?
This is fine with me as well. This is fine with me as well. But if there will be, if sometimes suppose the evening, if I need to go somewhere, usually obviously because I know I'm having a lesson with you, so I stay. I don't go anywhere. I stay here. I stay at home.
Okay.
If there is any change and anything, obviously I always convey to you, and I always give you the options. Like these are the time slots available. Whatever is convenient for you, you can tell me. I always give you time slots available. So if there is anything, I will communicate to you. And if it happens with you, like if you feel that you are going somewhere remaining and you are not available, you can communicate with me. You can tell me, and we can rearrange things.
Yeah, that's fine.
So far what I know, this time Saturday, this time is fine. If there comes up any change, I will communicate to you and you will communicate to me.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so allow me some time, Ryan, because I am not saying that I am straight away I'm going to send you all these things because I have some other tasks to do. So, but tonight I will inbox what I have said.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you very much, Gulshan.
You are most welcome, Ryan, and have a lovely weekend and enjoy your family time. Do you have brothers and sisters as well?
Pardon?
Do you have siblings as well?
Siblings that, sorry. You know on this, I can't really hear you properly.
All right, no problem, Ryan. Okay, thank you very much for being with me.
Thank you very much.
Okay, take a look after yourself. Bye-bye.
You too, take care. Bye.
Bye.